So, you've launched a Web3 project. Now what? Building something is one thing, but making it last, that's the real challenge. We're going to dive into how you can build sustainable, long-term growth and create some serious, unstoppable momentum in a market that is, well, you know how crowded it is.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a space that moves this fast, how do you get noticed, let alone build something with real staying power? Look, it's a huge challenge, but the answer often comes down to one thing: having the right partner in your corner. Let's start with some numbers, because they don't lie. Over 230. That's how many projects, founders and builders have trusted Bond Finance to help them grow and navigate this wild space. And you know what's behind those numbers? A crazy amount of expertise. The team brings a combined 87 years of real-world, hands-on experience. That's the kind of battle-tested knowledge that can make all the difference. And this is what that expertise actually looks like in the real world. $4 million. That's what a client of theirs raised in under 24 hours. I mean, that's an absolute game changer, and it shows you the power of a strategy that's just perfectly executed.
Okay, so why do so many projects find it so hard to get results like that? Well, it usually comes down to a really fundamental problem in how they tackle growth. Let's break down that challenge.
And this right here, this is the core of the problem for so many. You know the drill. You're trying to manage a PR firm over here, a community team over there, maybe an influencer agency, and none of them are talking to each other. It just creates this fractured strategy where your message gets lost, you're wasting money, and you're definitely missing out on big opportunities. You can literally see the difference. On one side, you've got total chaos, conflicting messages, communication gaps. It's a mess. But on the other, you have Bond's unified approach. Everything is seamlessly integrated, strategically aligned. The results aren't just better, they're synergistic. Each part actually makes the other part stronger.
So the answer is pretty clear, right? You've got to move from that chaos to cohesion. And that's exactly where a full-stack growth partner comes into play. A single, unified team built to connect your big vision with absolutely flawless execution. So what does full-stack agency even mean? Well, think of it this way. It's one team with all the experts you could possibly need, all under one roof. We're talking marketers, designers, blockchain consultants, everybody rowing in the same direction, all focused on one single goal: your project's growth. And here's where the magic really happens. When everything and everyone is connected, you create this incredible feedback loop. The insights you get from your social media, they immediately shape your next big campaign. The partnerships you build, they directly fuel your community growth. It's not just 1 + 1 = 2, it's more like 1 + 1 = 10. So how does this all work in practice? It's all built on a system they call Signal Spark Sync. It's a 3-part framework designed from the ground up for sustainable growth and scaling in Web3. It all starts with Signal. And we're not just talking about skimming data here. This is about deep market intelligence, finding those hidden opportunities no one else sees. Then comes Spark. That's where they use that intel to build campaigns and partnerships that actually get people excited and engaged. And finally, Sync, which is all about turning that buzz into real, measurable growth by making sure every step of the funnel is totally optimized. And this whole system powers 3 main service areas. You've got social solutions. That's all about building your brand and your community. Then there's performance strategies. That's the high-level stuff like project management and investor relations. And finally, growth and scaling, which is just pure, focused user acquisition and growth hacking. Okay, talk is cheap, right? Let's get into the proof, because results are the only thing that really matters. We're going to look at some real-world examples of how this system has delivered incredible impact. All right, let's take Suede AI, for example, a truly groundbreaking platform working with AI and intellectual property. Bond Finance came in and provided this super comprehensive, high-level project management, basically handling everything from partnerships to their entire market positioning. And check out these results. I mean, wow. Over $1.5 million paid out to creators on their platform, 13 million impressions. And this is huge. They secured major partnerships with giants like Google Cloud and Chainlink, plus 2 grants. That's not just good, that's getting a stamp of approval from the biggest names in the game. And listen to what their client had to say. This quote says it all, really. It wasn't just about marketing tasks. They were strategic consultants who helped them rethink their entire plan. That's the huge difference between just being a vendor and being a true partner.
All right, let's switch gears and look at a totally different kind of success story, the Shrewmates project. The goal here was all about explosive community building and pulling off a massive, successful launch.
And boom, there are those game-changing numbers again. $4 million raised in less than a day. A community with over 70,000 token holders, an all-time high market cap of $145 million. That, my friends, is what expertly managed hypergrowth actually looks like.
And here's another great quote that really hits the nail on the head. Their ability to position a project for credibility, even in a more traditional, conservative market, that is such a critical skill. Bridging that gap between bleeding-edge Web3 innovation and old-school enterprise trust.
So what does this all boil down to for you? Well, it means you get an entire team of seasoned Web3 pros ready to go from day one. You get to skip all the time, the cost, and frankly, the risk of trying to build an expert team like this from scratch. So to wrap it all up, here's why this works. First, every single decision is backed by hard data. Second, the team just gets Web3 culture. They know what motivates users. Third, they bring diverse and totally dedicated talent to the table. Fourth, their strategies are fresh and creative. And maybe most important of all, every single plan is 100% tailored to your project's unique DNA. No cookie-cutter stuff here.
At the end of the day, this is all about making your project's success not just a possibility, but making it truly unstoppable. So what's next? It's actually really simple. Book a call to get a free growth plan built just for you and see what this kind of unified, expert approach can really unlock for your project.